So, it's a novelization of my experiences with Quentin Tarantino on the psychic frontier. There is no daughter, right? All of these things that he's done. Lisa is Eliza Anastasio. She's not involved either, right? That it's all bullshit in an effort to make me believe that death is better, right? That it's a sick joke, that everything is a sick, fucked up game with them, right? And it wasn't until that I turned it all on them, right? Celestial Vision Board, right? Millennial Dragon, that they finally revealed, oh no, this isn't, like, no, it's not real, none of it's, no one loves you, ha 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 ha, right? And so, right, now that he's failed to corrupt my mind, right, now that he's failed to trick me into blowing my head off, right, he's stolen my wisdom because this is his game, right? And he's descended into palpable black magic evil, right? To try to destroy my body with his mind, him and the cabal of degenerates that surround him, right? Is it all him, right? I don't know. I know that William Morris and Dever support his degeneracy. How can I make that claim, right? I wrote those letters, those 10 sonnets in that long-form love poem to a woman who doesn't exist last August, right? That's 12 months, perhaps July even, right? No, it was August, right? That's a whole fucking year that Mike Simpson and his assistant, right, and everyone that works at that desk, because I hand-delivered it, have all been aware, right, that Quentin has been leading me to believe, right, that there's a woman who loves me who doesn't actually exist, right? This is why I'm suing them, right? That they're culpable, right? That they could have said, no, this is, right, we're drawing a line here. That there is such a thing as ethics, as morality, right? And you're actively seeking the destruction of an innocent man's mind because he didn't give you what you wanted, right? And that's sick and perverse and base. But instead of doing that, instead of having ethics, they said, okay, Quentin, you're handling it, right? And so, right, they're all in league with evil. All these people are in league with evil. And he tells all of them that I'm insane, right? His only argument is that I'm insane, right? And to which, again, right, I'll say it again, I'm not clever enough, right, to come up. This is a story that would never emerge, right, out of any sort of mental rhapsody in my mind. No. I don't know whose idea this was, right? If it was his wife's idea, as far as like involving the heart, like trying to, was it just to humiliate me? Because like, if that was true, right, and he has to pay me, right, for my scene, then why wouldn't he just pay me after I compelled him to admit that he has no daughter, right? When I went off, I went the fuck off. Right? Can't stress that enough, right? And I did nothing, right? I did nothing. And if I put this evil on him that he puts on me, right, he'll send people to murder me, right? He's a bully, right? He's a sick, evil man, right, who doesn't see anything good in his life. He only sees that he has to control the mind of every actor in the world. That's all he sees, right? And he'll never possess my mind, right? He could have gotten what he wanted, right? All he had to do was look me in the eye. He didn't even have to say anything, right? He just had to look at me like I was looking at him, and I would have broke like that, right? He wanted to stick his nose up at me, right? He wanted to turn his back on me, and so I said, okay, right? I can do that too. I'm following your direction. You're directing me. Right? Telepathy's bullshit, right? These games that he plays are sick. It's not cool, right? And I let him play his games for months, right? Not for a week, right? Not for 2 days, right? It's just like I said in the other video, 8 words he sent me as an email. And then when he turned his back on me, I would have said, oh, it's just theater. yeah, it was supposed to be enough. Like, yeah, sure, like everything he said was in relation to me, right? But in that way, right? Right? I'm not a fucking show pony, right? I'm not a monkey in a cage, right? You got money, you're famous. Oh, does that mean you're better than me? And you get to, right? You get to compel me to bark like a dog? No thanks. Right? And so again, I hated myself for months, right? Because I wanted to give him what he wanted. Right? But in that moment, I said, oh, okay, he turns his back. That's like, okay, I guess we're done. Right? And again, read between the lines, bullshit, like, sure, initiation, blah, 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 blah. Right? Anyone who thinks I need to be initiated by anyone other than God, right, hasn't been paying attention. And that's Quentin's point now. Oh, that he's a sad, weird, lonely guy, and when he dies, when I compel him to madness, right, I won't have any more problems, and the world will be no worse off for it. Right? Right? And so the real tragedy in all of this, right, is that everyone around him just allow him to continue this thing. Martin Scorsese, right, director of The Last Temptation of Christ, right, he knows, right? Paul Schrader, writer, director of First Reformed, right, the finest film about the mystery of God in the 21st century, right? He knows, right? Transdasia from Fish, right? Salman Rushdie, right? David Berlinski, right? The author of The Devil's Delusion, right? Stephen Meyer, the Discovery Institute, propagators of intelligent design, right? My point when I say all these things, right, and that's not everyone that I've written, right, is that if the people around him, right, were holding him accountable, then he would have paid me already, and he wouldn't be torturing me as much or as little as he wants, right? You think that he would be torturing me if William Morris Endeavor said, we're going to drop you if he keeps making videos? Right? Of course not. Right? So, I guess I'm going to stop. I don't really know what else to do.